Another attempt to make real estate essential in Pennsylvania, and an update on showing activity locally and nationally, all in the next episode of Tom's Take. You're definitely going to want to watch this one. We're back on the show. We're talking about making real estate essential again in Pennsylvania. I feel like I'm running a political campaign, as well as what's going on with showing activity locally and nationally. So first off, it's like Groundhog Day here. This is another attempt, and I love the strategy here. I'll tell you why in a second. Another attempt to make real estate activities essential in Pennsylvania, like 45 other states and like Homeland Security says. It's sponsored in a bill. It's House Bill 2412 by Representative Polinchak of District 144 in Bucks County. He is the former president of the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors, and he's a retired realtor, so love where his head's at. He gets it, obviously, because he made a living doing that. And what the bill basically says is this is not a return to business as usual. This is not going back to the office. This is completing real estate activities based on the CDC guidelines, like 45 other states are doing. So very simple, very reasonable. It's a bipartisan bill, which is really critical here because I'm not so concerned about this getting through the House or getting through the Senate. The concern here is getting past the governor's office and if he's going to veto this or not. And we know that we need a 2/3 vote in the House and the Senate to overcome a veto. So my hope is this pushes through, we can get it supported, and we can start helping those people that have an immediate housing need that need to go see houses. There's people with double mortgage payments right now. They're locked into leases. They're under financial stress. And that is something that is a basic need. If we're in a stay-home order, you've got to be able to have a home to stay in. Bottom line, hope this goes through. We're going to put a link here right in the show. If you feel like this is something you support, I would love you to contact your local rep. Let them know this is what I want to get signed. This is what I want you to vote yes on, because that's the only way we as citizens of Pennsylvania can make a difference. So make your voice heard, contact your elected officials. We got the contact information right here in the show, and we're going to include it in the email as well. The other thing from a real estate market perspective I wanted to share is what's going on with showing activity. So what's happening with showing activity both at a local and a national level? And all this data comes from Showing Time, and we're going to put these charts up here, what's happening nationally and then what's happening locally in the tri-state area, because it'll give us some regional information as well as, again, what's happening in Pennsylvania, which is going to be a little different given our non-essential status. So what we have seen happen, as of the week of April 12th, we saw a significant kind of decrease in showing activity compared to last year. And then all of a sudden, the week of April 12th, the line moved up. Big deal. So we went from April 12th, the pit or the kind of GOI there in the graph, we were off 48.9% from activity since the beginning of January on a national basis. Now we are only off 20.7% from activity since January 1 on an annual basis. Compared to this time last year, showing activity was up 43.9%. So there's still a big delta there. But the point is, we've seen a 28.2% swing in showing activity. That's positive. That's good news for sellers. That means that people are starting to come out and look on a national level. It also means we're kind of on the back end of this shutdown, so we can go back to doing things like buying and selling homes. That's what this show's all about here. So positive news on a national level. Now in Pennsylvania, the numbers aren't as good because we can't show properties. We are non-essential. So since January 1, showing activity's down 93.8%. This time last year, it was up 49.4%. So you can see our numbers in Pennsylvania where last year we're tracking a little ahead of the national numbers. Obviously, different circumstances here. We're in a unique state. So that's going to decline until this essential ban gets lifted. All the more reason I tied this into House Bill 2412 to, again, please contact your rep about that. What we're seeing in Jersey and Delaware is probably equally important here because that's part of our tri-state area. We are seeing that showing activity is swinging up in those states as well because they're allowed to do one-to-one showings under CDC guidelines. So we're seeing that activity is starting to happen. So what does all this mean for buyers and sellers? What I know is this: the people that are on the forefront of a change in the market are the ones that win. Meaning they get the right information, they get positioned to make a decision, whether it's buying, whether it's selling, whether it's investing. And they use this data to jump into the market at the appropriate time. I've been through a couple of these. I've been doing this almost 20 years. And I've seen 9/11. I've seen what happened in 2008. So what I know is that when you're ahead of this and you're getting all the right information, you can make a good decision. And we are starting to see activities jumping back up. It's happening across the country. We're not here yet in Pennsylvania because of our government limitations. Ideally, that changes soon. Again, please contact your rep about House Bill 2412. So all this tells me is that we're on the backside of this. And if you're thinking about making a move, or you were going to make a move now and you paused your situation, all the more reason to get a strategy session scheduled with your agent to understand what's actually happening in the market and avoiding all the noise that's out there, all the mumbo jumbo, all the fake news, if you want to call it that. Get some facts, get some data, and get clear on your situation so you can be at the forefront instead of trying to catch up after the fact. You need anything, you know where to reach me. We'll be back next week. Thanks for watching.